Hello everyone, this is Chris, and the Caves and Cliffs update is fundamentally changing so many things we know about the underground in Minecraft. And one of the biggest changes to the underground is the fact that the bedrock layer spawns from Y0, which was what we knew before, all the way down now to minus 64. However, there's certain things inside of Bedrock Edition that just don't quite transfer over as well as it normally does inside of betas, particularly with the old style world, which is what we are inside right now, completely breaks and completely just does not work and cooperate with the Caves and Cliffs features. And I'll show you all the issues and problems with the old worlds inside of this video. But yeah, first off, let's talk about the seed. This is the pane in the glass seed inside the betas. Yeah, it looks much different than what it does in the current update, but that's not what's important. What's important is that we spawn in right inside of a huge mountain biome, right in the center of it. And, yeah, inside of old worlds, that doesn't necessarily transfer over that well, because, inside of old worlds, the height limit is only up to Y128, which means you get situations where, basically the entire top part of the mountain just does not generate in for some reason. And I say for some reason, even though there's an obvious reason, like the build limit is only capped at Y128, which means there is no clear way on them actually reaching beyond that, because if we hop ourselves up to here, we could see that, yeah, it just goes right up to 128, and it can't go any higher. But here's an even stranger thing. You could see me trying to go walking forward, you can hear me trying to run forward right here, and I just can't. Well, for some reason, there's an extra layer just sitting itself right up here, which is inaccessible. You can't do anything with it, but for some reason, it just makes it so you're walking on essentially thin air for some reason. You can still interact with the blocks beneath it, but there is no clear way on accessing it. And it's even stranger when mobs happen to spawn inside of these invisible style blocks, because when the goats do spawn inside of it, they don't spawn like on top of the invisible blocks, they spawn right on top of the stone. But then there's an issue, because for some reason, after some time passes, what will happen is that the goats will just fall into the stone and suffocate, as we have seen with this one mother goat right here. I'm not sure why this baby goat isn't experiencing that, but if we look around, if we fly around, we could see, yeah, there's plenty of remnants of goats, and we could probably see it right here with this one goat. If we give it just enough time, then we will see that it just sinks itself just deeper and deeper into the mountain biome until it eventually suffocates to death. And yep, here is evidence of that with that. So it's pretty obvious to see that the cliffs part of Caves and Cliffs doesn't quite work too well inside of old style worlds. But what about the caves part of Caves and Cliffs? What does the underground actually look like? Well, if we actually dig ourselves right the way down to the very bottom of the world, you might be expecting we're going to head all the way down to minus 64. Well, inside of old worlds, what we instead hit is bedrock at the old level at Y0 for some reason, which is, it kind of makes sense. It kind of is understandable why it doesn't generate even further down below like this, but still, it would have been cool to see at least, like, you know, that getting moved down even further, but oh well. But there are some serious problems with it only going right the way down to Y0, as this next issue, which is shown off to me by KMB on Twitter, yeah, essentially completely breaks the old style world when you generate it inside of an infinite style world. And you know, let's do that right now. Let's make this entire world completely infinite, just to show you the transition and the serious effect as to when you make this old style world, which is only 128 by 128, all the way up to an infinite style world, because I wasn't expecting this when I first saw this, but this completely breaks, like, everything you would expect with transferring old worlds into infinite style worlds, as we shall see right here. So yeah, everything seems to be normal until we look at the mountains and the surrounding area of it. Yeah, take a look at this. This is, like, it's completely not what is supposed to happen, but it has happened. But And you might notice that our Y coordinate is only at Y21 right now. Well, that is because the bedrock layer, the extra 64 blocks we were supposed to get, never properly generated. So the only way they could think of actually bringing it, to an infinite style world is just moving the entire world right the way down to roughly where the old bedrock style level used to be. And that just creates this insanity of a chunk wall, which I don't think I have seen too much, apart from like when you loaded in old worlds into new chunks for new updates. Like, you could occasionally see things like this, but I don't think I've seen anything quite to this scale, where every single block and thing just raises itself all the way up to the normal limit, while everything else just stays down there, or even lowers itself to match up with the bedrock layer right down below. And another thing I don't understand about this is the fact that we have our mountains that actually properly generated up. You remember, like, it was just complete stone just sitting itself right the way around here. Well, now it looks as though like everything has properly generated itself in. There's no stone right there. There's no like stone floors or anything. Everything seems to have generated in, and I think I just saw like some goats that just happened to fall down. So yeah, every single thing about old worlds to infinite worlds has completely and totally broken inside of the betas. And obviously this is a bug. This will get fixed at some point in the future in future betas, but at the same hand, it's kind of cool just to see like your series just border from the old style world into the new style world, because in most circumstances you will see like a wall from one side to the other, because these old style worlds generate in much smaller biomes and much differently than you would see in infinite style world, because yeah, then you would see these chunk walls anyways, but it's just cool to see them just magnified to levels we have never really seen before. So yeah, expect this to get fixed at some point in the future, but at least for right now, if you do have access to the betas, check this out. See how crazy and insanity style things you get here. But yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.